Good morning. This looks so dark. I know I adjust lighting every time I do this, and just when I think I've got it right. I end up adjusting it again. But it's all fine. Oh yeah. Better. um Yesterday I shared a lot with you guys in the morning. And then I proceeded to have a really open day. I spent time with my friend, and she and I talked about things that we oftentimes don't get into, how we're really doing and how we're really feeling. And she shared something sad with me, and I just found myself allowing myself to tear up a little and just to feel things more and to be more open. I bumped into another friend that evening, and it was similar, a very open, intimate conversation within just, a 2-minute moment that she and I were kind of passing by each other. So it was a very open day after having a very open morning. I was a little afraid that I had overshared, but I take comfort that most people aren't going to see this anyway. This isn't really going to pop up on too many radars anyway. And it did open me up and clear me out in some way. I don't know if it's because I was so open, maybe, but toward the end of the day yesterday and this morning, it feels like it must be just a brain chemistry thing. I started tending downward in where my thoughts were going, and just almost needing, not negativity, but like, I guess, downness, feeling down. So this morning I noticed I woke up in that space, and I distracted myself a little bit with, online stuff. And then I thought, all right, let's open the window a little bit. And I checked in on my the channels I subscribe to on YouTube, which are some of the stuff that you see in the details of my videos. And that helped me, because when I'm feeling down, oftentimes I'm like, I need to, what tools can I use to help myself feel better? And the videos I came across, and the details are in the description for those two videos, were Angelo DeLulo talking about just experience without analysis. And that helped me. I started kind of, I kind of put on my clothes, and as I walked around, I just allowed for experience while listening. I was like, this is cool. All right. To be moment to moment, feeling my body moving and just perceiving and hearing things. And um, yeah, I can stay here. And as I allowed for that, it was actually the thought of doing that around people and in greeting people, or kind of thinking of what that would look like in a crowd. I suddenly broke into tears and allowed for that to just come. I was like, okay, apparently creating this kind of space, it's allowing for this emotion that just needs to be here. And I could give, I could think about reasons why it's coming up, but I don't need to. And the following video that popped up was Suzanne Chang's video, and she was talking about non-doership is kind of a term that comes up. Um, and I wasn't sure if that was going to help me, but I like how she said, oftentimes, we are, your brain is wired and conditioned to have certain impulses, or, things are done based on what your brain is doing. But then there's an I that comes in and says, oh, I did that. And it comes in after the fact, but it all happens in a way that it's hard to separate. It's hard to see that the I is not the originator of the action. So that's because the free will part of like the awakening conversation and the non-duality conversation, um, I couldn't imagine ever engaging in that conversation with anyone, because we feel like we are doing things and making decisions. Um, but it was interesting to pop into that perspective. And as she spoke, with the examples that she was bringing, um, it helped remove the I need to fix this thought from how I'm doing. And I'm like, okay, I can just be here. I can just experience this thing that does seem to be involuntary. And I don't have to own this. I don't have to say I'm feeling down. I can just keep going along my day and allow for this emotion to be here and not be afraid that it's going to interrupt me. Oftentimes, that's what's up, that I'm worried that if I feel a certain way, that it's going to keep me from being functional the way that I want. But it's nice that it's actually creating the space for it to be here and not ascribing and not identifying with it. That allows for it to just coexist with activity. And I can have peace and be down at the same time. Be like, okay, here we are. I'm walking. My body feels in this, whatever state. I might cry at the drop of a hat, and that's okay. It was nice yesterday to feel safe enough and vulnerable enough to just cry. Like when one of my friends shared that someone died that she knew. And we were talking, and she was like, I don't know. Should I feel bad? I don't really feel sad about it. And I was like, well, it sounds like things were going that direction. And it's okay that this person is not suffering anymore, because they were really suffering. And I kind of started to tear up thinking about it. And it was nice to just do that. And it passed, and to let that go. And we were like in public in a restaurant, but that was okay. I heard next to us earlier when we sat down, there was a family having, I think it was women talking about their mother or something like that. And it was, a very honest conversation. And it's really heartening to see and to overhear sometimes people really, it's funny how it's in public and like out in the open that so often these kinds of conversations are being had. And before it, well, maybe still, it at least in some places or times it used to be, or maybe considered impolite, but it's more and more what's going on, these intimate conversations in public. And I think it's nice to feel open out in the open. um, Small side note, it does feel a little unnatural where you feel it, where you know that you may be being overheard. So the conversation does have an, sometimes feels like there's something added there where you can't help but speak in a way that you know you're being heard by someone other than who the conversation is meant for. But I just accepted that because throughout the day, me and my friend were going to different places and talking more and more about our lives. And I accepted that that's just part of the phenomenon of being intimate in public, I guess. Because we're all sharing more and more, and that's nice. So, yeah, I wanted to hop on and just share real quick. Being with being down and having that be okay. And I'm just thankful for, I'm tempted to call them my friends, but it's like your friends on the telly. They're my TV friends. Um, um, my TV friends. Um, my subscription channel YouTube friends. I'm thankful for um, their reminders that everything's okay.